some basic arithmetic operations we can perform in Microsoft Office Excel, such as addition, subtraction, and multiplication. We also looked at the difference between formula and function. If you want to have that video, the link is in the description box. Go right there and have a look. Today we are taking it further. We have been looking at other arithmetic operations that could be performed using Microsoft Office Excel. So today we'll be looking at how to carry out division, exponentiation, what we call to the power of, and bracket, how to use bracket to control the order of your operation, what we call in mathematics as a board mass or ped mass, and we also look at how to add several cells in Microsoft Office Excel. As I said earlier, in case you want to perform arithmetic operations such as addition, you can see a simple example of a formula or such a formula. For that of subtraction, you can see a simple example. For that of multiplication, you can see example here. So in between these two cells, you can see the symbol that is there. The symbols here, they tell the program the type of calculation it should perform. So these symbols are called operators. So this is the plus for addition, the dash here for subtraction, the asterisk for multiplication, and which I'll be looking at other ones such as addition, where you have the forward slash. Take note there are two types of slashing, forward slash and backward slash. The forward slash is used for division. Then you have your exponentiation. Probably you want to raise a particular number to another number. So we have a1 to the power of something. So let's say a this. So this one tells you that whatever that is there in a1 should be given the power of the content of the 5. So we can also use bracket to control how formulas calculate whatever value you have in them. For instance, if you look at this equation here, you can see a1 plus b1 in brackets. So in other words, if you follow the rule of board mass or the rule of precedence, bracket will surely come first. So the calculation within or whatever expression within this bracket will be done first before the result will be multiplied by the content of C1. So we see all these ones quickly. So to do that, let me open another worksheet here. Okay, let me just use this area here. So let's assume that in this very cell, this is cell F2. You can see the cell reference here. So in this cell, let's say I have 100 here, and in cell G2, I have, let's say, 45, and I want to add these two. So I'll simply say equal to, as I said the other time in my previous video, you start with the equal to sign, then the cell reference, you can click it here, that is F2 plus this one here, enter. That gives you the addition. This and this will give you that 145 you see there. Then subtraction is the same. So let's say we have 89, 70 or 67. To subtract one from the other, say equal to. Pick the first cell you want to subtract from. Put your operator sign there, your minus sign, and this. Enter on your keyboard, and you get your answer right there. Then for multiplication, the same thing. So let's say I have 7 multiplied by 6. So how do you enter this? Enter your equal to sign. So 7 asterisk 6 gives you this. So 7 times 6 will give you 42 there. You get your answer right away. And moving further, so let's say division. I have the number, let's say 100. I want to divide it by, let's say, 5. So how do you enter the formula? The same principle. Always start with equal to sign, equal to. So you pick the first cell where you have the value is 100, then slash, that's your forward slash, this, which is this 5. Click the cell containing the value, enter key on your keyboard, and right away you get your answer. Then what about exponentiation to the power of? So let's say I have 25 here, and I want to raise it to a particular number. Okay, I'm going to do this one in two ways. So let's say equal 25. This is cell F6. So F6, we have 25 there. Okay, we have caret. Caret means to the power of. Caret 5. So this 5 is cell G6. Enter. So you have this value. So that means 5 times 5 times 5, 25, 25 times 5 into 5 places. That should give you this number. Or I can say equal 25 carets, put any number there, right? So maybe the number is not in any cell. You don't want to put any number there. So let's say 2. Enter. That will also give you the value. So that is 25 times 2. You have this value here. So that is how to perform to enter the formula for exponentiation or to the power of. Then what about using brackets to control the flow of your order of your operation? If you have a value here, let's say 25, and let's say you have 2 here, and let's say in another cell you have this, for instance, and I want the result to be here. So anywhere you want the result to be, make sure that is the cell you are entering the formula. So I want the result to be here. I will say equal. So let's say this, all right, 25. Let's say equal, open brackets, 25 plus 2, close the bracket. So immediately you do this, it is inside the content of this one that we calculated first. So let's say multiply, that is asterisk. Let me put any number there, 3. Enter. So where I have entered this formula, you can see the formula here. This 3, I can remove it and put this cell here. Click on this cell. That will replace what is there before. You can see the cells I'm using. This is F7 plus G7. So the result here will be calculated and it will now be multiplied by H7. So if I change anything, in as much as I'm using cell references in my formula, if I change any of these values, it will reflect in the final result. So let's change these 2. Let me change it to 10 and see how it will affect the output here. See, it changes to 175 because I'm using. So anytime you use the value in the cell reference, it will automatically affect or reflect in the final output. So this very formula you have here, if I change the order, maybe I want let me change the order and see. In this case, I'm going to remove the bracket from here and move it this way. So you can see I've changed the order. So in this case, G7 will be multiplied by H7 before the result will be added to F7, and that will give you a different result. So take note of how you use bracket to control the order of your operation. Then this one here, I see this one, there are several cells that are added, so I want to add all these cells here manually. I'll say equal this plus this plus clicking plus this plus this plus this equal. You can see the result here. So if you have numerous values, will you be doing this one manually like this? It could be time consuming and you have to be careful. You may skip any cell and your result and your final answer will be wrong. So to avoid this kind of lengthy step, you use your built-in function. Just say equal sum, open bracket, select from the first cell down to the last cell in the range. Put your enter key and that gives you the answer automatically. So these are some of the most important arithmetic operations you can carry out in Microsoft Office Excel: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponentiation, using bracket to control the flow of your operation, and adding several cells yourself. So in our next video, we shall be looking at other forms of operations that could be carried out in Excel. Thank you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, share, like. Thank you. See you again.